You just don't know what you don't know. Or is it you just don't know what you don't know? I don't know. I'm someone who tries not to listen to rumors or gossip and other people's opinions necessarily. I don't believe what I hear unless I hear it with my own ears and see it with my own eyes, and then I only believe about half of it. But that's who I am. So I probably shouldn't talk about it or them, but I can draw a cartoon based upon what I feel. Just saying. So let's jump right into episode 1 of the new Critter Creek YouToons series. Welcome to the new Critter Creek YouToons series, episode number 1. I'm experimenting with drawing art, cartoons, and more with only my mouse, my Adobe Illustrator art program, my preferred choice, and a whole lot of hope. And someday, hopefully, a digital pen. If this series goes okay, I'm going to get me one of those things. If there needs to be a disclaimer about this video and this series, it is this. I am no expert in this software or this type content for my YouTube channel, Critter Creek. But I am an expert in knowing how I feel. So let's just show you how and what I feel about today's subjects. You ready, Harley? Harley's ready. Everybody say hi to Harley. Okay, Harley. Everybody said hi. Go play, you ham. You love the camera and I can't stand it. This is what happens inside my head and my heart. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to read this because I don't have a voiceover expert to do this for me. But here we go. This is what happens inside my head and my heart. Do 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 do. You have unlocked the door with the key of imagination, humor, smiles, laughter, and kindness. You got to work with what you got. Beyond this door is another dimension. A dimension of sound, sight, and mind. Oh, no, it's mind, not mind. You're moving into a land of both cartoons and substance, of things and ideas. You just crossed over into the My Light Zone. Dum 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 dum. That's probably what you're saying right now. That was dum 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 dum. Anyway, let's roll this thing. Today's episode targets Jan and the boss with their critters from the YouTube channel Simply Jan Homestead. Links in the description below. Links in the description below to their channel. Nothing left to do but get her done. That sounded kind of creepy. Just kidding. Jan and boss, based upon your patience, your smiles, your laughter, your kindness, and your commitment to community, I have selected you as episode number 1 of my new series. So if the series flops, it's your fault, not mine. Just kidding. Once I've selected my subject or it's been laid on my heart, I go and build a file under YouTube, Critter Creek YouToons, and I build a new file and title it accordingly to what I've selected. immediately go and open up an art page. And I don't know where I'm going to start yet, but I save it under the same name. I don't know where I'm going to start because usually, most of the time I'll know the people from the channel or from the chats, but sometimes I'll get inspiration by other people. They'll suggest something, and so I'll have to go do a little research. But either way, I'm still looking for a cartoon concept or a logo concept or a design concept. So I go to YouTube, to that person's YouTube page. I read their about themselves, how they view, what they believe in, whatever I can get information and gain it, and I take notes and put it on a notepad. Then I start scrolling through their videos and waiting for something to jump out at me. I really wouldn't be there if I wasn't led to be there. So it doesn't take long before a concept starts to build. Sometimes I immediately go into a concept and know what I'm looking for because I know the subject matter from watching their videos, or hopefully even sometimes having visited with them. But I kind of have an idea sometimes I don't, so it goes a little different each time. Do a little research. A lot of times I'll go to Instagrams. I'm not stalking anybody, I promise you. I'm looking for photographs of your face. I like the details, smiles, the things that makes poses that make my concept of that person, that individual, come to life, and usually in a cartoon form. So if they have an Instagram or a Facebook page it's listed in their description above, on the YouTube channel, if it's listed on their YouTube channel about, if they have an Instagram or a Facebook page or a website, I visit those. Try to get a vibe for colors they like. A lot of times you can do that from their logos they've chosen. And I just collect data, take pictures, screenshots. I'll go back, watch videos. And then something will pop, and I go, that's what I want to do. So I go to the art tablet and I do a rough sketch of a layout that I want to do. Is it a cartoon? Is it a logo? Is it a illustration? I'll have all kinds of different videos coming up, but it's under the same basic premises. I go to my art tablet and I start laying out a basic design idea concept. That's going to change during the course of the process. I can promise you that. I started in with a concept on the Simply Jan video, and as I was drawing it, I had her video playing in the background, and she said something that just snapped. And she was talking about something she got that she loves so much. And it wasn't Boss, because I already had him in the cartoon. So I immediately paused it, my art, saved it, and went to her video and watched her talk about this thing she loves so much. And I took a screenshot, copied it, put it on my art tablet, and drew it, and included it in the cartoon that I did. Because it was she loved it, and it was current, it was relevant, and she'll know that when she sees the cartoon, because she knows it wasn't very long ago she was talking about that. But that's the way I do it. It's a little bit different with every subject that I do. Sometimes I get it right from the start. Sometimes I gotta watch more videos. I'm looking for the perfect way for me to say to the subject matters, you matter. I see you. Your kindness, your respect, your information, your knowledge, all those things that make you a subject of mine. Sometimes it's just you crack me up. But anyway, and then every now and then you get to do a cartoon of someone like Jan and Boss, and it's kind of a combination of all those things. the good Lord laid this one on my heart from the very start when I agreed to, or when I committed to doing this series. But okay, I'm rambling again. I'm just trying to do a little voiceover stuff as you're watching the process of me designing this particular cartoon. Okay, I'm just now collecting the faces. I'm trying to find the best detailed faces for Jan and the boss in the vibe that I want. To me, the boss is just, I started to say bat, but to me, the boss is just cool. He's laid back. He all country. Or that's the vibe I get from him. And the man is into fishing. My first concept, I knew I had to have a fish in his hand. That evolved into something totally different. Watch the video. But my first vibe was a fish in his hands, and him and Jan do a lot of fishing together, and I don't know. I don't live in their household, but they're an amazing couple, if you ask me. There's no way you can fake happiness. And the one thing that I had to capture in finding a picture of Jan was that smile. There's only a few people that I've ever seen, and I've been a cartoonist or an artist all my life, that have a signature smile. And she ranks right up there with some celebrities that when a caricaturist or a cartoonist draws them, they start with that smile. And Jan has a signature smile. On top of that, her eyes smile also. So I'm trying to capture a picture, find one that has that exact vibe, and if not, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna improvise. I've got a concept now from looking at all the pictures that I was able to collect and stuff, and I've kind of laid out in my mind where I'm going to go with this. I am doing a cartoon, something that can be used as a t-shirt for them. Maybe not, maybe just something fun, give them some smiles. I want to keep Jan's colors. I've redesigned her. I've not redesigned. I've drawn her logo. Hey, them arrows are hard. I'm gonna tell you what. That way, I have a vector version of that. Not only for my use, on the art, but she may not have a vector version of her logo. A lot of people don't. So by me recreating it, if she ever needs it for her own use, obviously I don't have a need for it for my use, but for her use, then I'll be able to send her a vector version to where screen printers, embroiderers, and anybody else, they just work straight off my Adobe files. And trust me, the only reason I learned Adobe was because every manufacturer, printing, screen printer, embroiderer, poster printer, anything, they all ask for or prefer Adobe files. There's other ways around that, but that's rambling. So I've laid it out on the screen. I've recreated Jan's logo, and I've got my subject matters picked out. I'm going to go with an oval design. I never know if somebody wants to use it for this or that. This particular design is going to work best for me in a logo, in a circular design. So I'm ready to go with that. Now I'm looking over the subject matters. Each design I start differently. On a live where I was a guest the other night with the Gillums, Christine asked me, do I draw the logos first, or we were talking about the Johnny Gillum race car design that I did. Do I do the logos first? Do I do this and that? And I told her it varies. Okay, it depends upon the design and the elements that's going to be in it. This particular design's really busy. I don't normally draw busy art. Just kidding. My designs tend to be like, every time you look at them, you're going to find something new. And if I had more hours, I'd probably have more in there. But anyway, this design has a lot of elements. It has a vehicle. It has 2 human characters. It has, I don't know, 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 critter elements. And so I looked at all the pictures, and I decided to knock out the most time-consuming one first, okay? So I'm going to draw this old-time red truck. I tried to find a photograph of one that closely resembled a t-shirt design that Jan and another channel, or a few other channels, had a meetup, and she appeared to love that red truck, and I think she's even mentioned to me she loves old red trucks, or the old red truck vibe. So I found a photograph that got as close to it. I had to go watch which was actually made me mad, because I went and watched the YouTube meetup that she and these other channels had put on, and then I got mad at myself for not being there, and I'd been invited up to go, but I was looking for that t-shirt design is what I was looking for. I didn't want to let Jan know I was looking for it, otherwise she'd probably just sent me a picture. But anyway, I found a photograph of a truck, and I got different perspectives. I found one that would work in the design that I was wanting to do. So I chose to do the vehicle first this time. Then I look at the vehicle before I start to draw it, put it on my art tablet, and I go to work on it. Okay, this one, those chrome rims, I really wanted them to pop it. Then I ended up covering them up at the end by the time I put all the characters in there. But I still want you to see the design, the way it works, and how I designed this. I'm hoping that I can get this in fast enough motion to where this video isn't too long. At the same time, it lets you see how many elements go into me trying to tell you you're special, and that you make my world better. So let's sit back and watch me draw this truck here for a minute. Remember, always, when you watch one of my videos, you can email me and ask questions. I don't know much. I'm not an expert, but if I got the answer, I'll give it to you. If you want any knowledge or advice on Adobe Illustrator or merchandise or that, I'm willing to tell you what I feel, what I think, but I'm telling you right now, second disclaimer of this video, I'm not an expert. So let's watch me draw this truck, and I don't know if I'll interject anything in here or not. I doubt it, because it's pretty self-explanatory. Now, when I get to drawing Jen and the boss, I might have something to say. All right. All right, where are we at here? Okay, looking good. We're working on these cars are probably the most time consuming of all of it. So I try to break them down, knowing what the final product will look like on a t-shirt or something like that. I'm not going for a photo finish quality. I'm going for something that can be separated and screen printed or direct to garment. In this truck will only be on about that big if on Jan's artwork, and more than likely about that date. I decided to start with Jan's cartoon, her caricature first, before Boss's, because there's more details. Her glasses. I really wanted to take all the time that I could to capture that smile. And because I've mentioned that smile several times, you'll see real quick in watching her cartoon caricature being drawn, I started with that smile, I believe, if I remember correctly. Let's see here. Let me fast forward and find out. Those in the video, those narrow to thicker to narrow lines, those are custom brushes that I create to give a cartoon effect, rather than just one consistent solid line at the same amount of points depth. I create something. If you're drawing with a marker or a paintbrush, it's heavy to light, light to heavy. So I create my own custom brushes depending upon depending upon the vibe of the final art, which I want this to be semi-realistic but cartoon, and that particular type of brush helps me to achieve that. You know, if I were teaching an art class, I'd be showing the differences in different type brushes, but I'm not doing that. There's too many experts on YouTube doing that stuff. I'm just showing you how to have fun and use the gift God's gave you. I'm just showing you how to have fun and use the gift that God gave you to bring joy and smiles to people's faces. All right, on Jan, I believe I started with her smile. Oh, no, I remember now. Wait, I haven't even found it in the video yet. I remember now, I started with the glasses. And I had mentioned in the live the other night with the Gillums that on Johnny's race car, I started with the windows because they were translucent, and everything behind those was going to be critical in the final design. And so now I remember why I started with Jan's glasses. It's because, one, they're iconic, and they're beautiful, but the eyes, there's a twinkle. Man, I don't want to sound this goofy and stuff, but it's the way I see things through my cartoon eyes. There's a twinkle in Jan's eyes, and I can only imagine what that's to be able to stand face to face and get to visit with her and see that happiness in her eyes. I hate to say you're sad or mad, but anyway, I started with their glasses because they're going to be translucent. Obviously, I want to give some tint to them based upon what's going on around her. So if I get the glasses drawn, then I can lock that in place and go in and draw her eyes and try to do my best as a cartoonist to capture that. Side note is that you never really know what color a person's eyes are because you're working from screenshots of videos most of the time, and they're blurry by the time you get them. By the time you get them on your art tablet, you really can't tell what color their eyes are, and you can't really call them up and say, "Hey, what color eyes do you have?" without their husbands getting mad. But anyway, you do the best you can and hope that once you send them the art, the first thing they say was, "Well, it was okay, but my eyes aren't that color." Anyway. It looks like that I started with, of course, the glasses. We already discussed that. And I got the basic outline, the shape of the face. That will change during the process. It'll soften. I need it bold to design within. And then I jumped on that smile. So Had to get that hat. I had to get that hat. And, I don't know how she gonna get, if I can ever send her a Critter Creek cap, I don't know how she gonna get it shaped quite like that. I had a cowboy hat that was about in the same shape back in the day, but that was because it had been stepped on by every kind of critter on the planet. Just kidding, Jan, your hat's beautiful. In the vibe that I want, to me the boss is just, I started to say that, but to me the boss is just cool. He's laid back, he all country, or that's the vibe I get from him. And man is into fishing. My first concept, I knew I had to have a fish in his hand. Yeah, I did the critters next, and there's not a lot I can say about that. I didn't catch it on film when I was drawing Toby, but I was like apologizing to him. I said, "I'm sorry, Toby, you're much better looking than this cartoon." But I went with what I could. I told him, I said, "Toby, I'm sorry, you're much better looking than I got you in this cartoon." But I drew all the critters that I could. I could have sat and drawn a day's worth of critters, but I still have to get the design finished at some point. I hope it's close enough to Toby, Jan, Boss. I took a pose, and then I took photographs of him and tried to do a little color work. I don't know how I did, but I'm sure you'll let me know someday, or when I get to meet Toby, he'll let me know. I never knew a donkey that wouldn't let you know what they thought.
I have always wanted a rocking chair. And these were so inexpensive, I could not pass them up. And it is so comfortable.
Toby! I love that donkey. Check him out. Apparently she does too. Get your hands off my donkey, Jan. Oh, that didn't sound good. can draw a cartoon based upon what I feel. Just saying. I am no expert in this software or this type content for my YouTube channel, Critter Creek. But I am an expert in knowing how I feel. You might be my next target. Okay, that sounded kind of creepy, but you get the point. Jan, boss, just know I love you. Much, much respect for you. And I hope you enjoyed the cartoon. Keep doing what you do. You're awesome people. Oh, and don't forget about my favorite on Simply Jan's Homestead, Toby the Donkey. Just saying. There's more to come. I could fill 9 acres with what I have in my head. Trying to wink. I don't know how to wink. If you enjoyed this, consider pressing that like button. If you didn't, that's cool. Don't click it. I want you to be true to yourself. But if you did, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and hit that notification bell so it'll let you know when the next episode comes out. Y'all come back now, you hear? Love you. For real. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time. I think that's it. I think we got it. I don't think we got to do any more.